Hello, everyone. All right. This is part 2 of playing with Model Context Protocol. I played with it last week and just got a basic client server working locally. And this week I wanted to try and containerize and deploy them. So let's talk about it. All right. So here's the Model Context Protocol. Hello. Oh, and I didn't actually, I only told John. Oh, we got some more folks in. Okay, I was like, I don't think I really told many people about this stream. I should probably tweet or whatnot. Okay, let's do that. Live streaming with MCP. What? I don't know. Live streaming with MCP. That kind of good ring. All right. Okay. All right. Saludos. Welcome. So here we got the model context protocol. This is the repo that I did last week. The only thing I did since then was add really basic instructions just to remind me how to do it. So let's go through those instructions again to make sure everything is still working. I was also told last week that my font size was hard to read because my resolution is too small or whatever. So anyway, we got bigger font size this time. So let's try this out running the server. So as a reminder, this is what the basic server looks like. We've got resources, prompts, and tools. So here I've got two tools, the calculate BMI. Of course, BMI isn't even a good metric that we should ever use, but it was an easy calculation. And fetch weather, which doesn't do anything good right now because I don't have an API key. So you see I have my two amazing tools. Then I have a prompt, and this is just something that returns a string. And then I have a config, which is a static resource, which we could use for, any static resources, text or binary or whatnot. All right, so that's my basic server. And so what I can do is run the development inspector with the server. And as you can see, it uses Node.js. So you do need to have Node.js installed locally. And that'll start up the development server. John says, did I see this? But did I see what? What did I see? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got an example. Yeah, there's been a lot of MCP examples coming out in the last week. I haven't played with any of them. I was reading through where's the one from Tech Community? MCP. Let's see, Azure AI MCP. Azure AI Foundry MCP. What is this one? No. Okay. Azure AI Foundry MCP. Razad made it. There we go. I read through this one and looked a bit at the code for that one. Haven't looked at other ones yet. All right, so now I have the MCP dev inspector running, and you can test different transport types. So right now there's two transport types. STDIO, standard input output, is what we're going to use with like local terminal uses where we are running it from a command. So if we're using it with like Claude or GitHub Copilot or something like that, we're using the STDIO transport. SSE, server sent events, is what we'd be using. You can see that then creates a URL. That's what we'd be using for doing like communication from server to server. So we're going to actually play with that today. But right now, let's test with standard input output. And this one uses UV in order to run the server. So we say connect. Okay, and let me make this bigger. And here we can see resources, prompts, tools. So if I say list tools, then we can see calculate BMI and fetch weather. So a client can, call this get tools API call and get back these tools and see what it's able to run. All right, so that is working, and we can close that up. And then to install this MCP plugin in Claude, let's see. I already did these steps yesterday, but I don't know if it keeps on uninstalling it every time I close it down. I'm just is it going to recognize? Okay, calculate BMI for height 6 feet and weight 150. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it knows about the tool. So I'll say allow for this chat. And it says it uses the tool, and then it knows enough about BMI to actually, calculate it. Okay, so now that's working in Claude. All right, so that is our basic usage of an MCP server for local use. I see question, have I used MCP on Cursor? I have not. I also have never used Cursor. I know actually my partner uses Cursor all the time and tells me all about it. He really likes the YOLO mode, I guess it's called. I have to ask him if he's looked at MCP. I also haven't even used it in GitHub Copilot, though I think that maybe support got added for it. I know some people added extensions, but I was hearing that, oh, here we go. MCP server support closed. Good. Okay. So please track this starting in blah. Okay. Discover and run. Okay. That's also closed. All right. So what do we see here? Try out the configure the repo is good. Okay. Well, the feature is closed. So does that mean that, oh, MCP adds CLI command. Okay. Code add MCP. I wonder, is this available? Oh, Code Insiders. Code Insiders. Oh my gosh, maybe we can do it. All right, let me try. Let's open up Insiders. I don't use Insiders that often just because it's more likely to break since it is Insiders. That's kind of the whole point of it. But okay, let's see if we can add it. Let's see how up-to-date our Insiders is. Presumably, we would need it to be really, really up-to-date. Okay, it's from 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago. I think we might want to, let's check for an update because, there might have been a release in the last 2 days. Checking, should be checked. Okay, yeah, it's actually downloading an update right now. So has anybody else used MCP in Cursor since you asked about that, or used Cursor generally? Or used MCP anywhere else? Okay, let me restart to update. Okay, all right, so we're gonna have add MCP, MCP server time. Okay, let's see if that's gonna work. Why do I have numbers open? Okay, we'll fix that. Okay. All right. Let's see if it knows about this command. Code Insiders add MCP. Let's make this bigger, bigger, bigger. Command not found, Code Insiders. Oh, interesting. Code Insiders, command not found. All right. We'll just ask Copilot about that. Maybe maybe I have to install Code Insiders separately from that. Okay, so Satire says Cursor is great for vibe coding. Yeah, are you using that YOLO mode? Is that really what it's called? That's what my partner was saying. YOLO mode. That's a great word for it. All right, let's see. That command is not installed. Enable the command line interface. Oh, you have to do install command shift p shell command. Okay. Let's see if it's, yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, let's do a new terminal and say code insiders. All right, so now it knows about code insiders. That's good. We'll go back here, see if it knows about code insiders, add MCP. Okay, yeah, so it does. So now we just have to figure out exactly what to put here. So I think it should match what's in the like Claude config. So there's like this, let me try and find the Claude config. When you install it into Claude, it creates this configuration file, and it has a lot of really similar arguments to what I was seeing there. So, but where is that? Okay, let's see if we can find the config. I think I had config in the name. I think I have a lot of things with config in the name. Oh, maybe date last open, because I did. All right, that's too hard to find. All right, so let's just look at the values and see. So name. Oh, you know, I know how we're going to figure it out. Let's go to the MCP Python repo, MCP Python. And there we go. We'll find the open issue about UV and Claude, because that had the config in it. I think, was it this one? Okay. Yep, that's right. So the command is going to be the absolute path to UV. So going back to this one, let me put this in a file. All right, so now looking at this, name. All right, so maybe we give it a name. All right, so name is going to be, you know, Pamela's MCP. I think the name doesn't matter. Command. Okay, command is going to be the absolute value to the UV. Which UV? Oh, sorry. Which UV? This looks like here. Okay, command, and then args. Args. All right, so directory. Say args directory. This is always lovely to edit escaped JSON. Okay, directory, absolute path to the thing. Is it in my, oh, it's like in here. Okay, so we need to do probably where our folder is. So just pwd. Okay, so here's our folder. Directory. There. Okay, and then run and the server. Okay, run and server.py. All right. Is this gonna work? Yeah, I was trying to find, I couldn't remember where to find the Claude config. If you remember where to find it, when it's broken, it opens the Claude config automatically for you to fix it, but I can't remember where it is in my like file system or how to get to it. So if you remember where it is, you can find it, then we could also look at it there. That'd be good. All right, we're just gonna try this. My God, what is that? Uh-oh. I always hate getting a node error. Okay. Added MCP servers. Okay, this is just a deprecation warning. I'm okay with that. Uncaught NAPI callback exception detected. Please run node with, oh God. All right. Let's do node version just to see. Okay, I'm on node 23.3. Is that a good node version? I know that node versions like change really often. What are we on right now? Yeah, that's pretty good. 23.10.0, and I'm on where am I? Okay. 23.3.0. That should be okay. All right. I just don't know whether this deprecation warning is an issue or not. Hopefully it's not. All right. So it said it added an MCP server. Let me go ahead and paste this into our other repo. And then let's see how we would run this thing. Oh, and then John says that if we go, okay, maybe we go to settings. Is that it? Developer, my app. Aha. Okay. Edit config. Thank you. Okay. It's Claude desktop config.json. Let me open that in Insiders. And yep. Okay. All right. Okay. So this actually looks a little bit different than what we put in here. Interesting. All right. I guess we should probably, well, why don't we test it first and see if, so I presume that once we've added an MCP server that we could chat about it, or use it, calculate BMI with height 3 meters and weight 50 kg. All right, let's see. Does it matter what mode I'm in? Let me go to ask mode. And don't really need the context, but okay. Use one reference. Well, it doesn't really seem like it used it. We could look at the output from the Copilot chat maybe and see, does it try to find anything there? Yeah, I guess I don't particularly see any references. Maybe you have to, with Claude, we had to restart it. Maybe we need to restart it to see. We'll restart it and then we'll give up if that's not working. So let's see, Code Insiders. Let's just quit and then restart it. And then, because I did say we were going to try and deploy today. So, but I was eager to see if we could actually use it in Copilot, since that's what I actually use most of the time. All right, let's try it again. Calculate BMI. Get rid of the history. And do you see any reference to the BMI remains the same? Okay. All right. So I don't see any evidence of it trying to use the MCP server. I don't even see like a, errors or anything, right? Of it trying to use anything. So, yeah, so maybe it somehow is not the way you're supposed to use it. So I'll ask my colleagues about it afterwards. I'm sure they know the right way to do it. And then I'll just update the README with the right command. All right. So let's go back to this and see about setting up a client server. All right. So right now our client here is a standard. It's using the standard input output. Right? That's what we use for a local client, like one that's running over the terminal that we run with a terminal command. But we want to do like an actual kind of server to server communication. So what we need to use is a different, what's called different transport. And they're actually about to change this. There's a huge pull request that I looked through last night that they're about to change it, but that's okay. All right, so let's set up a, so for this one, we'll actually need like a different server file. So we'll say server sse.py. Okay. All right. And looks like we're missing an import here. Where is this server supposed to come from? Server. Did we have the server import before? Where do we import server from? Okay. We'll just guess. Server. Oh, wrong one. Okay. From mcp.server. Is that right? We can go to definition. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So missing the import. Let me just write some notes. Missing import for server, so we can make some docs fixes. All right. So missing the server. Okay. So now we've got server. We've got SSC server transport. This is from Starlet. Starlet is the ASGI framework, the async framework that is underlying Fast API. So if you've used Fast API, you've actually used Starlet. So this isn't using Fast API, but it's using the framework it's built on top of. And then we have the ability to handle SSE and handle messages. And this one, okay, so it doesn't have tools on it, but I presumably we can just attach the tools. All right, so here, let's just compare it to server. So here we have this fast MCP server. Okay, that looks really different. All right, let's see. So when we were doing standard input output, we would do, okay, that's using, this one's doing fast MCP. Oh, a more ergonomic interface. Does that support MCP server? Is this out of date? Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get a better example of using the server. Let's look here. Yeah, okay. All right, what I normally do is like look through Docs or GitHub in order to see examples of what other people are doing. Okay, so they're making the app. And where are they? Transport equals SSE. Oh, but this is what they want, not what they're doing. Ooh. Web servers that integrate MCP SSE. All right, maybe we should check this out. We don't need the Fast API. We can just do Starlet. Yeah, code along. I don't know what I'm doing, so we can figure it out together. All right, Starlet MCP. Okay, so this might be promising. Let's see when it was last updated, 3 weeks ago. The hope is, of course, that it still works with the current thing. All right, so just looking at how it does it, we create that. And then what's in the routes? The routes has what we'd imagine. Okay, status, docs. What about a tool? I want to see a tool. This is probably a tool. Okay, so they are using the tool here. Okay. Try again. Love when the commit is try again. All right. Well, I can either, okay, let's see. It's basically just taking a look at, all right, so that's pretty much what we have to do. All right, so why don't we go ahead and just try this one. Let me put this in the chat. It looks like the kind of thing that should work. Famous last words. All right. Clone Git repository. Here we go. 2. All right. So it's interesting because it has several. All right, so we've got routes, we've got server.py, and that has a run which runs with Uvicorn. Typically, that would be like our main run function, right? Would be running with Uvicorn because we use Uvicorn to run a local server. And then this one also says you can directly run this one. So I guess it means if you wanted to directly run this one, you could. But I guess I don't understand why you would directly run this file versus directly running this one. So I'm going to start with running this one. Let's see if it talks about it. Full installation. All right, we're doing UV. Here we go. And we're going to activate it using, I'm on a Mac, so I'll use the, let me make this bigger. Even bigger. Okay. All right, now we're inside the environment. We're going to select that, install all the dependencies. Okay, and so it says we can run server.py or uv run start. No such file directory. CMake. Why are we trying to run CMake? Oh, it just has the wrong. It's funny. It shouldn't be unicorn. It should be Uvicorn. Okay. All right. We can submit that as a pull request. Only Uvicorn 0.3 is available and Starlet. Why would only that one be available? All right. Starlet, MCP, SSE depends on Uvicorn. Latest version. What is unicorn? Are they using, what is unicorn? Wait, they do have unicorn. What is unicorn? Where did unicorn come from? Is unicorn some different package? Has anybody heard of unicorns? Okay, what are unicorn CPU emulator? It just doesn't, it feels like a typo to me. I'm just impressed it's in the UV lock too. All right, so we're going to change this to this. And okay. All right. So I think there was just a mistake in that. Hopefully it still works. Okay. Yeah, I think unicorn was a typo. So maybe they did like UV, maybe like they like set up their environment a different way originally and then did like UV add unicorn and didn't notice it and didn't notice that it didn't work with the new thing. I've done stuff like that because, as you're going along, oftentimes you don't set up things the same way as you finally want it. Okay, well, there's our demo. All right, now how do we like test it? Okay, the following endpoints: standard web routes. Oh, that's cool. A status page, documentation, about page, SSE endpoints, and message posting. Okay, so yeah, this would be like these would require like posts. Okay, so we can use the so we can use the MCP dev inspector with the weather.py. So that's why we also have the mcp.run here, because you can use the dev inspector with it. All right, so let's try that. Try that dev inspector as well. So basically, like in order to use this, we need a client, and the MCP dev inspector can be our client. Okay, dev inspector running. So this time we're going to try SSE, and it says it's connecting to 3100. that going to work though? It doesn't say that it started up a local port. No, it says connection error. Oh, it says, enter URL. Okay, sorry. Should read the docs always. Okay, connect. Let's see. Set transport type to SSE. But maybe I was supposed to have the server running. Unicorn can be hard to close sometimes. Let's start it again. Yeah, because this is running on port 8000. Okay, so we're supposed to run that server on 8000, and then now that it's running, now we can connect. Okay. So Satire asks, what does MCP Inspector does? It's basically a client that can connect to a server to let you see what that server has available. So it's acting like a client. It's got a whole user interface on top of it. And, it's a way that we can test our servers without having to integrate them into a tool, right? Claude has a client, an MCP client inside of it as well. But it can be trickier to debug things in Claude than using the Dev Inspector. So we can always start with the Dev Inspector, and the Dev Inspector also supports both standard input and SSE, right? Whereas like Claude might only connect over standard input, and other servers might only connect over SSE. We can do both of them in the Dev Inspector. All right, we can list resources. I don't know if there are any resources for. Yeah, there's no resources on this one. Prompts. I don't think we have any prompts. Nope. Tools. How about tools? Yeah, tools we got. All right, so we got get alerts and we got get forecast. Nice. We can even test this in. I'm sure this is fake data, but here we go. Oh, this looks like legitimate data. I think this is like legitimate data. My mom's in Monterey and she was just telling me, is this real data? I feel like it is. Where is it coming from? Yeah, it's coming from the national weather. Oh, that's so cool. We got real data about where my mom is. She got rain yesterday. Because we were supposed to have this big rain, atmospheric rain, they call it. Whoa, that is cool. All right, I can get a forecast for latitude, longitude. Let's do latitude, longitude for El Cerrito. I'll just do it the other way. All right, I'll just stick a dot here. And there's my latitude, longitude. Okay. And then I copy and paste it here. Okay, there we go. There we go. And longitude. All right. Oh, I need a period in there. What, negative? That should be, unless I switched. Did I switch latitude and longitude? I really should know this, being what I worked on at Google for so many years. Oh. I don't know. What did I mess up? 37,122. Is it what? Positive 122? Well, I forgot everything about latitude, longitude. Random latitude, longitude. Pick random coordinates. All right. That's not going to have good weather. Because it's only the National Weather Service. All right. I'm sure it works. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So that's working. All right. So what we want to do is actually be able to like use it from a client. So does this one come? So we tested them out. Okay. Adding custom routes, integration. It's integrated with the VS Code extension. So that's cool. I guess the first thing we could do is make a Docker file, just deploy just the server and make sure that works. So this is with Unicorn right now. So let me grab a Docker file for a Unicorn application. I think this one has a good Docker file in it. That's actually with G-Unicorn, which is also an option, but let's see if I have one. That's just a plain unicorn one. To do Python. All right, that's probably fine. All right, let's make a Docker file. We can stick it, kind of want to have it, I want to have like a different folder for the server versus the client. So let's see. So this one is server run. Okay, so this one is set up where we've got the Pi project outside here, and the package directory is source. Would it work if we just put this in there? Or we might need to do a like server folder, right? So that we could have the server separate from the client. So put that in there, put that in there, and then we would put a Docker file in here. And looks like we're exposing 8,000, and let's bring in Python 12. This one I think is even using 13. Okay, 13 if it works. Okay, great. And now we're going to copy over the Pi project.toml. And then how did we do the install on this one? We did uv pip install. Okay. We probably need to install uv first. So let's do uv, maybe. Run uv pip install. Okay. All right, so we did pip install uv and then uv pip install. And then we're going to copy everything from source into code source. And then finally do uv run start. So be uv run start. All right. Is that going to work? Yeah, John asked, did I fix the CMake errors? That is because of Unicorn, because it's trying to make Unicorn, which is incorrect. So all you need to go to piproject.toml and change the Unicorn line to Uvicorn, and that'll fix it. Yep. All right. So let's see if this is gonna work. Do I have the Docker extension right now? Where's my Docker extension at? Might as well use that. Docker. Yeah, it is installed. Okay, that should mean that I get like when I'm in the Finder. Oh, there we go. Build image. All right. We'll see. I wonder how we say. All right, we're gonna say MCP server latest. Okay, let's see if my janky Docker file is gonna work here. Let me also make a fork of the repo we're working on now so that I can push changes to it. Create a new fork. Okay, while Docker is running, I'm gonna change my origin. How to change my Git origin to my new fork. It's like Git remote origin add, something like that. Check my current remote. Okay, oh, Git remote -v. All right. Right, that's the current remote. I guess we remove that one and then add the new origin. Row add origin is this. And then verify it. Okay. And then I can add the original one as the upstream. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to make a branch, stream changes, key, changes during stream, git push. Now we don't know if these changes work yet, so you shouldn't actually like directly bring these in right now, but this will be my repo with changes in the branch, which may or may not work. Let's see how Docker is doing. Oh, what do I do? I split it. Okay. All right. What is it doing? Oh, you know what? I'm not running Docker right now. How is it supposed to work? It's silly. All right. Let's run Docker. It's probably a good first step. Let's see if I have enough RAM. I remember I ran out of RAM yesterday while we were doing Discord office hours. All right, how's my Docker doing? Come on, Docker. Where are you? Is Docker gonna work today? If Docker doesn't work, I can do it like remotely a different way. Oh, dash editable. You're right. We didn't do it editable. Yeah, that's a good point. So it'd be better to do pip install -e like this. Yeah. Yeah, that would be better because if as soon as you make changes, you want it to take effect. So that's a good point. Made that edit there. All right. Still, where is there a Docker up here? Docker. I don't see a whale. Where is my whale? Come on, Docker. Let's try it from here. What are you going to do? Docker. Doesn't feel like it's doing much of anything. Should I just move it to the trash and reinstall it? Sometimes I have to do that with Docker. Okay, bye, Doctor. Oh, it's open. It says it's open. Where is it open? All right, let's see if there's any. I don't see a Docker there. All right, let's open up the activity monitor, see if Docker is having a little freak out. Docker. All right, there's a lot of Dockers here. I'm going to quit. I'm going to force quit it. And also all the other Dockers. Goodbye. 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 Go away. All right. No more Dockers. Let's try it again. Docker. It's really not working that well. Oh, remove the R. Oh yeah, remove the R. Oh yeah, it's working. Okay. Here we go. Wait, it did work. I did run this one though. Let's see. No. I think it has to be -R for pipe project, right? No. Oh, a value surprise. Sorry, it has to be -E dot. Oh yeah. Okay, but I did just move it into MCP server, so I'm going to say MCP server. And then this. Okay, yeah. So if we do a -editable, it's going to be pointing at the folder. There we go. All right, so for me, it's going to be MCP server because I just moved it, the Pi project into here. Yeah. Good point, John. All right. So we did manage to get Docker running. And okay, so that means I should be able to build, try building again. See if it's going to work a little better. There we go. Okay, so Docker was in some sort of stuck state. All right, so let me check out. So in the this one, I don't want to do -E though. I want to do just because when I'm running in production, I don't do -E. -E is editable. So in production, we don't want to install an editable. So in this case, I should be able to do uv pip install dot, and that should find the pi project at toml, because we copied it over to code /. So I think that would have to be code. I think it would be uv pip install code. And then we did this. Is that going to work? I should look at the files. Okay. All right. Look. Oh, we got the error on here. Great. Oh, sorry. Let's build it. Build it again. Build. Do. Okay. All right. So this in time uv pip install code. All right. We had a few. All right. Pip install code. No virtual environment found. Did we make a virtual environment? But we shouldn't. Oh, yeah, we did make one here. We shouldn't have to make a virtual environment on our Docker file layout. Okay, I know Michael Kennedy has talked about using UV in Docker files. There we go. So let's just take a look and see what his workdir current. Oh, did I not change it? Workdir. Okay, but I do want to see based on specific. Oh, so he actually does use a virtual env. Really? Okay. All right, so he installs with the curl installation and then does run UV. A working Flask example. All right, let's just take a look at what his Docker file looks like. See if we can get inspiration from it. So web app. Okay, so this one does Python base. What is Python base? Oh, okay, so he has a separate Python base. He's making multiple images. Yeah, that's cool. That's fancy. But then also you must have Linux base too. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is probably the correct way to do it. It's just a little fancier than I was going to go. All right, going back to this. So, but it looks like he did actually make a VM. Let's see what the AstroDocs say about using in Dockerfile, because they probably talk about it too. Let's see, Dockerfile using UV in Docker. Okay. Oh, that's like if you wanted to straight up. But this is what I want. Use one of the above images or install UV by copying the binary or the installer. Okay. All right. So that's actually, this looks the most like what I had starting off with. So we're going from 312 bookworm, downloading UV, downloading the installer, run the installer and remove it, ensure that it's on the path. And then the next one would be installing the project. So add /app. Okay. Oh, this is what John was mentioning, to do UV sync. All right. I don't think I've ever used UV sync before, but I believe you. Okay. So let's see. So we're going to add app. In this case, it's going to be add source, or just add the current, does the app folder in this case, copy the project into is app I don't remember using app before. Add copy from source to the destination path. Oh, okay. This is the destination. All right. So we're making app on our Docker image. Okay. And then the workdir is app. All right. This is similar to my code. And then run UV sync frozen. And then, so we've done this stuff. Oh, okay. Wait, if your UV is syncing, doesn't that mean like that your development environment has to be the same as your Docker environment? Or I don't know how that works. Okay. And then we're going to run the app. All right, so this looks the same. All right, so we can just use that one, expose. All right. Okay, so let's see. John says UVSync creates a virtual env and installs the requirements. Oh, okay. So it's going to do it based off the OS. All right. I was worried it meant it's going to copy exactly, because it depends on the operating system which requirements get brought in. Okay. All right. So now let's try this. Let's try this one, this Docker file. Okay. Let's see how we're going. Installing UV. Okay, UV sync. We've gotten to UV sync. We got past UV sync. We exported the image and it's exported. Cool. So now we're going to do Docker run. So let's go ahead and find my whale. There's my whale. All right. And containers, images. Okay. So I want to find this is the one we just made. So I'll say run. So this should run the start command, and we'll find out if this start command was any good. I might need to inspect. Nope. I was looking for the logs. It's been a while since I've done this. Inspect, pull, push, copy. Maybe I need to let me run interactive. Okay. Let me stop that. And then run interactive. Okay, you want the top of the file. Let me just push it to the branch. Docker file. Okay, it is pushed to the branch. Let me make like a pull request for the branch just so you can refresh that. Oh, I shouldn't have made a pull request because it's not not my repo. Okay, it's just in the branch. Let me go back to the comparison view. This branch is update. Stream changes. 2 commits ahead. I just want the comparison view for you. Okay. There you go. Now you can get the changes. All right. So I am going to, okay, I'm running interactive. Great. This is what I wanted. Okay. It said that it's running. It's on 8,000 and we exposed 8,000 in the ports. So now we should be able to actually go to my local server 8,000. Ta-da! All right. So that means that we should be able to, let me close this one down. That UV. Yeah, let's run the dev server again. Let's run it on the where it is now, which is MCP server /source weather.py. Okay, and that's on, let's see, 5173. All right, so once again, we should be able to go to 8,000 and connect. And let's list the tools, get alerts, California, run the tool, success. Okay, all right, so it's now in a container. The next thing we could do is, well, we could do 2 things. We could try to run a client that accesses a container like in a different Docker, or we can just also try deploying this one to the cloud. I mean, in theory, it should just work on the cloud. So probably the more interesting thing is to make the client. So we look at the client. Ooh, going way back to the docs here. Way back. Okay. Nope. All right. All right. So this is it. So for the client, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Easy peasy. All right. So it's just, I think that's like more the, just the part that's different. So if we look at our previous one, right, MCP Python demo, and that had a client in it. So let me see. Can I make a client? I'll just start with a single file. All right, so this one's a standard input client. I want it to be a SSE client. So going down here, SSE client. So what does that look like? Async. Maybe we put it in here. Yeah, probably would put it in here. All right, so like instead of async with stdio client, we would do async with SSE client, and we need to bring that in. Okay. And there we go. Client session as session. Stream 0, streams 1. Okay. Wait, session.initialize. All right, so then everything from here on should be the same. So then I don't think we need the handle sampling. Oh, that's optional. Okay. I actually don't know exactly what that does. And we don't need the server params because our param is just the URL. Okay, so we're just going to have this single import undefined name client session. Oh, all right. Oops. Yeah, we'll keep that one. Okay. All right, so this is client, and we could just run this client. So let's go and I guess just try running it. Client.py. Unknown resource config.app. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, this was, I don't have that resource. We don't have any resources in the current one. And this tool is incorrect. So let's get the tool to match a tool that we have here. Okay, we'll do get alerts and get alerts. And the arguments would be just state CA. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, that worked. Okay, let me just add that code as well. Add client, and then what we can do is put this inside a Docker as well. Okay, let's do this inside a Docker. All right, so we're going to make an MCP client as well, and just set this up similar. So we had a source in there. All right, and we'll stick the stick that in there. And we're going to do a similar Docker file. And we'll put that in the actual folder. Oh yeah, which we got. Okay. We really should get a Docker ignore in here at some point too. Okay, copy and paste the pyproject.toml. Okay. So now let's see. So this is all the same. This is all the same. We should probably give it a different name. So we'll see MCP client. And I actually don't know. So this one, okay, this one is not running with Unicorn right now, which is kind of surprising. I think you would need to run with the actual server. We'll find out. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if it actually really needs all the same requirements, but let's say client. Client. So right now this one's doing server run. So we'll just say for this one, the start would be So we're calling client, and we're just calling client, really. Let's see, how do we do that? Okay, so we want the script to actually just run a particular thing. So let's try going inside the client and running it, right? So we'll do okay, UV run. Yeah, UV run start. Is that going to work though? Okay, so first we need to do like a. So now we've got multiple UV projects in the same folder, which somewhat hurts my head a bit, but let's see. Let's see, how would we want to do UV pip install dot? Oh, I should have done editable actually. All right. UV pip install. Yeah. So I've done this part wrong. All right. So client has probably would we run? All right. Console strip. Okay. So that time it liked it. UV run start. Okay. Coroutine run was never awaited. Right. Okay. Because I tried to call an async function. So question, this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around, is that shouldn't we need to, because we're going to deploy this client as onto a server. So wouldn't we need to run this with Unicorn or something? Right. So if I do this, I think this is what you're suggesting, right, John? That doesn't work. There's probably some way. Okay. So how do you do UV run with Python file? This should be okay. Let's see. Running scripts. If your script has no dependencies, UV run. Oh, just the file. Oh, yeah. It would just be like this. UV run. Let's try this. Pip install. Invalid. Let's see. Package stir is here. UV run example. UV run. What if I directly do it in here? UV run client.py. Nope. UV run source client.py. ls source. Invalid console script. Running a script with, oh, this, yeah, we do have dependencies. Okay. Declaring script dependencies, yada, 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 yada. Using GUI scripts. I can't make it a console strict. Okay. Oh, okay. Just like remove this. UV run. All right, UV pip let's do the pip install. Yeah, normally I don't use the script functionality stuff. So UV run. I think that worked. It did work. Okay. All right. So yeah, I removed it as a console script and then just ran UV run source client.py. All right. Thank you. So we'll just say, so in this one, it's going to be app client.py, right? Or no, we're inside of the, okay. Let's see. It's going to copy source. Yeah, I think it's still source slash because we're copying everything from the current folder to app. All right. I don't know if we have to expose. We don't need to actually expose something for this one right now because we're not actually. Don't have it as a server per se, like exposed server. All right, so I think that this looks like it should build. So let's try building it. Do build image. And let's call this MCP client. All right, we're building. Okay, that built. Now we are going to run it. Oh, let's go to our Docker and find this one. And we'll run this interactive. Now, the tricky thing is, yeah, that's why I just realized. It's trying to connect to localhost, but it's not on the same network as the other Docker container, right? It's running on the Docker network. So what we should do at this point is a Docker compose and put them on the same network, right? A Docker compose, yeah. All right, so that sounds good. Let's just make Copilot do this. Make a Docker compose. It's not necessarily how we're going to do it for production, depending on where you go to. For like Azure, we don't support Docker compose that well. But make a Docker compose for the two Docker services, MCP client and MCP server, so that the client can call the server on port 8000. All right, hopefully that's enough information. Oh, let me push this, yeah. All right, let's do this one. Add client, push, okay. All right, so what did it make? Docker compose. We've got MCP server, context is the server, ports are 8000, 8000, networks, MCP network. That looks good. MCP client depends on. Yeah, it makes sense. We want the server up first. Getting the server, great. It passed in as an environment variable. We might need to edit the code then to use that environment variable. Networks and bridge network. Okay, that looks like what I would expect. The only issue is that we should add an environment variable for okay. We should invite and add this as an environment variable, right? So just add m variable to client.py. Open editors. Okay. Maybe it's because I didn't have the client.py open. Yes, that sounds correct. I'm going to use the OS module, get the server URL, construct the server URL, default to localhost, so it'll still work with our local tests. Okay, that looks good. All right. And then we are going to do it's a Docker compose build, right? Nope, I made it up. Okay. Okay, how to run Docker compose. Maybe it's just Docker space compose. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's space compose up. Okay. And then D, what is a -D? I kind of I want to see it in real time. All right. There we go. Yeah, so it's for Docker compose, it's Docker compose up. It's with Docker individual, it's Docker build. That's where I was getting confused. All right, so it made the files, no errors there. Gracefully stopping. Driver failed programming external connectivity. Port is already allocated. Aha, that's okay. That's because This one's still running. All right, we're going to close some things here. Close. This one's running here. Close that. Close that. Okay. All right. So I had port 8000 already being in use. The attribute version. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this is out of date. Somebody should tell Copilot that. Probably me. Okay. Port is already allocated. What? Am I running anything on that port right now? Apparently I am. Oh yeah, because the Docker extension's running it. Okay. We will just kill that port. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, okay. Port is already allocated. All right. So maybe this is an issue. Maybe something else is going on. Fuser. Okay, let me try John's command. Fuser-K 8000 TCP. Dash. It says unknown option -K. The report only for this file. Is there? Wait, Fuser-K 8000 TCP. Did I do this right? Fuser-K. It says that the unknown option K. I'm gonna take a look in this and see. So we said expose this 8000 on 8000. Let me also look at my Docker extension, see. Oh, this one's still running. Oh, yeah. Okay. The problem is just how hard it is to kill this container. Okay. I think, yeah, for every reason, it's really hard to kill. So let me stop this. Because my kill, I didn't kill it hard enough. I didn't kill -9, -1, whatever. All right. So now I've stopped it. Now it should be okay. Now there shouldn't be a competing port. So now, there we go. All right, that's looking nicer. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It worked. Okay. Cool. Look at that. All right. So that's working. That's exciting. Can I stop them now? Yeah, so now that it looks like they're actually stopping for realsy. All right, let me push those changes since that's really good progress there. Okay, add Docker compose. Hit push. Okay, so then the next step would be deploying this to an actual server. So let me think. If I was deploying this to Azure, I wouldn't use a Docker compose. I would, well, you know me, I would use AZD. That's what I usually use. But then I have to write a bunch of bicep. I'm thinking if I just did AZ Container App up, the problem is, yeah, we need them to be on the same network. So I think I would have to do it a proper way. Does Container Apps support? I don't think it does. Container Apps. I actually don't often do multiple container applications. This would be maybe my first time. Oh, hello. AZ Container App Expose. A Container App Compose. From a compose specification. Well, you know, that looks pretty good. Maybe it works. Create more. Okay, so what is this? Compose, create, AZ Container App Compose, create, core extension. Why are they? I don't understand the difference. They look like the same command. Let's see. Oh, I see. Ariel's asking what software do I use? This is just with StreamYard.com, which is the most commonly used software for streaming. We use it all the time for our Microsoft channels. So like if you've ever seen my Microsoft Reactor streams, those are all on a StreamYard account that they use. And they pay more money for it, so they get more options. I don't pay that much money for my personal one, so I get less options. Okay, so we could try Container App Compose, see if it'll if it'll just work. I need to make a resource group though. So make a resource group. Oh, and it needs an environment. Okay, so I'll make an environment. I saw that's all it needs. Okay. All right, so we'll do container apps environment. Okay. And let's do a, yeah. Okay, let's do I just want a new one. New. Just give me a new one. There we go. Give me a new one. How do I make a new one? Okay, there we go. I know how to do this. I don't use the portal very much because I always write my code, my stuff with Bicep. Okay. Shouldn't be this hard to find. Container apps environment. Container apps. All right, let's see the suggestions from AI. I just want an environment. Why? Okay. Nope. All right, I'm just going to find an existing environment. I have existing environments. Maybe I can just use one of those. So I'll look for one that is one of mine. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and use this one. Okay, so here is my container app environment. And let's get the name of it. All right. So then we're going to go over this command. All right, so we need the resource group, which is this one. And then the environment, which is this name up here. And then we're going to see what error we get. Let's see. It's in preview. It's got an extension. Docker Compose. Oh, it's so funny. You know what the issue is? I think I told them about this. Yeah, it defaults to assuming it's YAML, but I use YAML because that's apparently what the creator of YAML prefers. But anyway, Docker compose.yaml. All right. So we'll change this to YAML. Oh, I realized my face is kind of in the way of some of this stuff, huh? Maybe I should change the layout. I could also put face on the side like this, so it's not in the way. What other options do we have? I don't know if it lets me move my face somewhere. Solo layout. Oh, not like that. Let's go back. Go to the right. Yeah, I'm just looking for. Oh, I can make myself on the right. Yeah, I was thinking the right would be better. Okay, here we go. I can move it. Okay, one. And I only want one person. All right, and I'm going to move it this way, all the way over there. And now I can try this one. Here we go. All right. I kind of look smaller now, don't I? All right, let me see if I can edit this. Okay. Here we go. All right. All right, a name, invalid container app name, MCP server. Oh my gosh, we have such annoying rules. That's fine. We're just going to change these service names here. And let's just go ahead and get rid of underscores because it hates underscores. No, the context is correct. That's the folder. But this should be no underscore. We're just going to get rid of all the underscores because Container Apps is super picky. All right. Is it better on the right now? maybe I block a little bit less. I feel like most of the time it's better to be on the right. All right. So it's doing some building. Yeah, the thing I wonder about is whether it's like gonna work with the network thing. So let's see. Consider okay. The network configurations are not supported. For more information about supported networking configuration. All right. So that's what I was worried about. It was like, how is it going to actually handle that bridge network? So that's just not going to work. So also I see a bunch of errors here. Maybe those are okay. Maybe those aren't errors. Maybe it just likes to make things red. Yeah, I think those just happen to be red. All right. Let's not make things red unless they're errors, people. Okay, networking in Azure Container Environments runs in the context of an environment with its own VNet. It's created with your own VNet. So we inaccessible, publicly accessible internet, only able to reach internet. So how would we do network? How do we do like a bridge network? To refer to planned virtual networks, right? So if we have a container app, they're both in the same VNet. And then we want them to talk over that subnet. Maybe if we sing about it. No. I just want to see what the equivalent of doing a okay. Custom virtual. Okay, bridge network in Azure Container Apps. You think it's gonna be super complicated in the cloud? Ugh, annoying. Okay. Azure Relay bridge. I think that's a different one. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think what I'll find, like instead of dealing with the proxy stuff. So I mean, it did do the Docker compose, so we might be able to actually see it there. I just think we're going to have an error in the actual in the logs when it tries to connect because it can't connect. Let's see, refresh. Okay, so we have MCP client, we have MCP server. We can try let's see, did we expose? Does this one? We told it to expose. Did we tell it to expose a port? So is that going to end up being a publicly accessible URL? It is. All right. Yay. Simplest solution is to make everything public. You're right, John. We'll just make everything public. So that's public. So we actually should be able to run. Let's just try that with the MCP dev, right? So it's going to be MCP dev. Let's see, MCP dev. And it'll be MCP server source weather.py. I don't even know if it matters. Like, why does it even need this to be pointed at a file? Because we're going to connect it to a different URL. Yeah, we're going to connect it to the one I just posted here. Oh, hey, Jay. Jay did a 2-hour workshop on Terraform. Nice. Yeah, we do have more folks trying to get more Terraform for the samples now. I'm curious, Jay, if you found out that people are Python people want more Terraform, or if it's because I think they were saying like Java folks really like Terraform, right? All right, it connected. List tools. So this is now publicly accessible. So security. We would want to make it inside a VNet, and only be communicable from the stuff inside the VNet. But here we go. Let's find alerts for my mob again. Run the tool success. There we go. We got our alerts. So that's cool. Now, if we look at the logs for the client, since the client right now is configured to connect to like a different URL, if we look at the environment, does it have, I wonder if it sets the environment variables on it. It didn't set any environment variables. So we could actually set the environment variable. Because remember, we made this an environment variable. So if we add this one and make it the URL, okay, where I've got too many things going on. Nope. 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 All right. I need to close a lot of tabs. A lot of tabs. I think I've lost the one that was actually useful. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. I was trying to modify the container app that's deployed to Azure. Okay. Let's find that container app again. We'll go back to the container app environment, which is basically Kubernetes, if you're curious. Find that client. Go to the containers, set the environment variables. And, oh yeah, so it does actually have, yeah, so it has the default. So it did actually set that to, okay, so that means that container apps looked at this and used that for the environment variable, which is, you know, reasonable that it did that because that's what we had. But instead we want to set it to that deployed URL. And let me get that deployed URL again from the server. All right, let me get that from the server. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Can I edit it? Save as new revision. And do I need to put SSC after it? No. Just the domain. Don't even need a slash. Okay. So then we say save as a new revision. And I think it should run the new revision. Okay. So now let's check on the revisions. All right, it is activating the one that I just edited. And we could, all right, it says it's been deployed successfully. So I'm going to look at the logs. And in this case, I want to see the console log, I think. There's two different logs. It's like console log and system log. So one of them's inside the container and then one of them's outside the container. So I think we want inside the container. Aha, there we go. Okay, so it worked because we're connecting to a public URL. For this to be like a reasonable, like secure architecture, we would use the VNet. They'd all be inside the VNet. We wouldn't necessarily expose anything at all, depending on the use case. And they would communicate over VNet, like DNS, private DNS and private endpoints, that sort of thing. I'll have to wrap my head exactly around what that looks like, but I can probably find example infrastructure for it for Azure. But it's been an hour and a half. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, let me add the container app command somewhere on the README. Deploy to Azure. And that's going to be resource group environment apps, a container apps environment, and that. And then once it deploys, update the server URL environment variable then check the console logs once revision is deployed. All right. Shell. Okay. Big old note. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's close that and push everything here. And now I don't know whether I should, at this point, this is really different from the original. So I could maybe just merge it to main and detach from the original. I don't know that the person who originally made this repo is necessarily wants all these changes. It says it's up to, yeah, that one's up to date. Let me go ahead and get my branch and just merge that to main. And I'm gonna just merge. So I'm gonna change my base repo, create the pull request, stream changes. Let's make it look like a good pull request. We can use Copilot. It'll make a long one. And then that'll be in main. And so this is example of that. And then, you know, the other thing to do would be to have some bicep or Terraform, probably bicep, knowing me, that would do a proper deployment. So I don't know when I'm going to get to that, because I also have a internal MCP project that I'm working on. And that's part of why I was doing these streams, so that it would be easy for me to do the internal MCP project. So I need to prioritize that. But I think they'll both have similar infrastructure in the end. So, you know, maybe I'll end up just doing the same. All right, cool. There we go. Once again, here's the repo. Probably can't follow. Actually, okay, we should really update this stuff. This is really, okay, the README is really out of date now. So what did we have to do? Run the server, create. Okay, oh man, it's really, I guess that maybe is correct. I think you really have to go inside the folder. All right, I don't have time to improve the README right now, but I can do it in the future. I've got to do something before noon. So there we go. Let's leave it like that. And feel free to send a pull request to improve the README on this, or change anything else that you run into. Maybe John, if you end up messing with it. Satire asks, are you planning on streaming other stuff? Well, I generally stream stuff a lot, usually on the Reactor channel. Let's see what I have coming up. We just finished the Python AI series. Every Thursday, I would do Python AI office hours in Discord. That's where I'm answering questions. That was when John asked me about this. So that's when we arranged this. So if there's like something you want to see streamed, you could also ask in office hours. Let's see, I'm doing some SF stuff that's in person. I've got one stream for the AI Agents Hackathon. Posette will be virtual, and there's some in-person stuff. So yeah, I mean, I generally, if there's something interesting to stream, and if it's something I need to work on anyway, like I'll try to also do some streams with things that people have asked for Azure Search OpenAI demo, the things that are like more interesting, like maybe the new different way of doing multimedia data ingestion. There's people asking about a different way of doing user uploaded files so that it's per conversation instead of, persistent. So those kind of things would be interesting to stream. So, just if enough people ask about something, then, and if I have time, I'll just schedule a stream because it's fun. I like learning things and learning things together. Oh, John says he's going to try adding bicep and a README. Amazing. You could start with the README. That's probably easier, but you could do whatever order works for you. Okay. Llama index with Azure AI search would be an interesting stream. Yeah, I haven't messed with Llama Index much, but I think if you go to, I think Farzad is, oh, not that one. I think that Farzad is going to show it for the Agents Hackathon. If we look at the Agentic RAG one, this one, I think he might have used Llama Index for this one. What did he use? Open Fallen Canada. I don't remember if this was Llama Index. Farzad definitely has Llama Index with Azure AI search examples in Python. And so I don't remember if he used it for the one he's going to be showing there. We do also have Lori Voss, who is the developer advocate or lead of developer relations for Llama Index type search. And he'll be talking for the Agents Hackathon stream as well. Don't know if he'll be showing AI search. So yeah, so we'll see if they end up covering that. I really haven't messed much with Llama Index, but as saying, my colleagues Farzad and Marlene, you should also check out, if you like streams, make sure you're subscribed to Marlene's channel. She's maybe even already done that particular stream. Let's see, Marlene Mangami. Here we go. What has she been doing? She does a lot of LangChain. She's got nice little titles for hers. She did do an MCP with LangChain. And yeah, she's been doing more and more stuff. So subscribe to her. I don't know if her streams are live. She might do them pre-recorded, but she does really similar stuff. All right. Cool. Sweet. All right. So yeah, I'll try to do more streams next week to work on interesting things. And thank you everyone for watching and for helping and giving all the tips, especially John, really helpful to figure all this out together. But it's great to have actually people watching because it's fun that way. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.